Tony D and Little Joan with your Screenwriters Rant from Better Noise Films. They're new to me. The Retaliators, a revenge film with a bit of a twist. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's what? It's the Pineys, books 1 through 9, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited, it's free. So, you've got this pastor, and he's got 2 daughters, the oldest one being Sarah. Sarah stops by the gas station one night, and she is accosted and then killed by this maniac who looks like a younger version of the guy from The Hills Have Eyes, doesn't he? Like a younger, kind of better version. His face isn't kind of like punched in. From the producers who brought you The Dirt, I don't remember that, but this is a horror movie. So he kills her, and it's terrible. The pastor is beside himself, and then this guy shows up one day and says, "Really sorry for your loss. I know something about this guy. Would you like an opportunity that I was given to heal?" And he says, "What the hell are you talking about?" He goes, "How would you like to have 1 minute alone with the guy who did this to your daughter?" And of course he says yes, even though he's a pastor. And he gives him 1 minute, and the rule is he can't kill him. He can't kill him. It's his only rule. He can do anything he wants, and he gives him a bunch of tools. Go to town, and I guess he tortures him, does horrible things to him. But then the guy is part of a bigger family, and his brothers are looking for him. Ooh, look at him. They took out a piece of his ear. So his brothers come looking for him, and of course he gets free. I'm not exactly sure what the end goal was of the guy who was going to torture this dude, because you got to figure if things had gone as planned, they would let the guy go, and couldn't he just get the police on him? Couldn't he just get the police? Directed by Bridget Smith and Samuel Gonzalez Jr. Written by the Gear brothers. It's interesting. Produced by Michael Lombardi, who also stars. I assume he's the preacher. Interesting. Also Mike Walsh, producer as well. Is this I'm thinking of Matt Walsh. No, that's a different guy. I don't recognize any of the other names, but interesting. An interesting take on the whole revenge thing. Let's see. Apparently, it features appearances by Bad Wolves, Tommy Lee, Death Punch, Papa Roach, Ice Nine Kills. Oh, this is a bad sign. When they promote the music, it's usually a bad sign. But I will say the music sounded pretty okay. Sounded pretty intense. Escape the Fate, Eva Under Fire, The Hue, From Ashes to New, Papa Roach. So maybe only in the theaters September 14th. Retaliatorsmovies.com. So yeah, I mean, this is a classic story of revenge. Like, you take revenge, it comes back to bite you in the A, and then he ends up fighting everybody, right? He ends up fighting, the whole family. Because this guy, look, I mean, revenge is not a good thing. Thou shalt kill. See, because he's a pastor. Revenge is not a good thing. I mean, neither is murder. I understand the impetus, of course, but that's a bloody guy. But yeah, it doesn't do much for you. It brings you down to their level. I mean, it's a little different in the moment, maybe, but yeah, this is like later. It's all planned. So, but I like the tension here that this sort of, not really a drama, I guess, thriller, action movie, horror movie, sort of touches on, right? Because it's all about what you would do. Now, I don't want to see the blood and guts part of this. I want to see the whole You know, how he does it, why he does it, kind of thing. Do they get away with it? And again, what was the end game here with this guy, the Revenge Ranger guy? Does he get paid? Does he blackmail the pastor? And what does he expect happen when they let the bald guy go? And, you know, do they think the bald guy, well, I'll just go home without my fingers and my nuts? I mean, I mean, I think that's the first thing, you know, somebody would do to a guy, unfortunately. Especially if you killed their daughter. I also think he'd probably just kill him. He'd probably just kill him right out. How could the other guy stop him? Well, my one rule is you don't kill him. Oh, okay. Well, give me that 1 minute alone with him. All right, I'll walk out of the room and then, you know, he's dead. What? Hey, I told you not to kill him. Yeah, too bad. So it's, you know, from a pragmatic standpoint, it's totally insane. But from a horror movie kind of standpoint, it's kind of an interesting deal, and you could see a big fight scene in a house full of Christmas decorations. The bald guy is very menacing, I think, and you can imagine how intense it gets because, you know, he just spent a minute torturing him. The other guy tied him to a chair or whatever. Like, but again, that's the only part. That's one of the reasons I want to see the movie. Like, how do they deal with it? And who are these guys? Who are these guys? Are they the Retaliators? No, I think it's 7 mixed with Death Wish and a dash of Tarantino. Yeah, I'm not so interested in the gore though. I mean, there is some gore in this, but it seems like an interesting story, if unrealistic. So, and these days with high crime, I think people will be interested in this. Someone says this actually looks good. Yeah, it does look kind of good. I agree. Yeah. Would I see it? Yeah. First horror movie trailer for the Retaliators. Yeah, I'd go see this. I have to kind of be in the mood for this. You know, if I'm kind of like having a day where I'm feeling down, I want to see more of an uplifting movie, as you all know. I typically want to see uplifting movies. This doesn't feel very uplifting, but there are moments where, yeah, let's go see something crazy. This would be a kind of cool, crazy movie I would want to see. Oh, here he is. Or maybe he can't do anything, you know? That might be part of it. He gets down there, and as a pastor, he just can't do it. He's going to do it, but then he stops himself. But then this guy comes back at him anyway. That's the way I would probably script it. He, like, can't bring himself to do it. Maybe he, like, stabs him once, but, like, he doesn't do what he could have done and then kind of regrets it. And the other guy's like, whoa, is this it? I mean, you want another minute? You want another minute? I'll give you an hour. Go nuts. So first act is, of course, the setup. No, not with him. Setup with the daughter and the pastor. They have this fairly idyllic life. He's reading a passage, of course, from the Bible about revenge, which is a theme in the movie, so whatever. And then the first act we see, looks like we see the whole thing. Like, we see her go to the gas station, meet the bald guy, he you know, toys with her or whatever horrible thing he does to her. And then probably we don't see him kill her initially. Then it's the pastor finding out his daughter's dead and showing up to the crime scene and screaming. Then it's the sort of the post, you know, thing. His life's falling apart. He doesn't know how to get his groove back. And then this guy shows up and makes him the offer, the Retaliator. I guess he's the Retaliator, or he's part of a secret organization. That would be kind of cool, because then you could really franchise this whole thing. You know, so maybe it's the sort of thing like, if you agree to the offer, part of the deal is you join the Retaliators. You have to do this for someone else. So that would seem fair. And that would seem a little more realistic because then you would have this seemingly network of guys. They're split up in the cells, but they do this stuff, right? You know, maybe they do it once and that's it. You know, and then they're out. So he meets him, talks to him at a bar, tells him all the gory details, and then makes him the offer. Then takes him back to his place, shows the guy, and then this is sort of like, now we're into the second act. So the second act is he makes him the offer, takes him to the house, tells him the rules, tortures the guy or doesn't, does something to him, I think, at least. Then he goes home. Does it make it better? Doesn't make it better, really. But then the guy's brothers show up and free him, and then hunt down the pastor. I don't know. Again, I don't know, how wouldn't they hunt down the pastor anyway? Or maybe the other guy's going to kill him. Maybe that's it. But then he gets away, and then the brothers come for him, and the second half of the, really kind of 4 acts. The second half of the second act is him fighting all the brothers. And the third act, you know, they overwhelm him, probably take his family hostage. A weird scene with a gun, or a nightclub, or and then the third act is him now turning the tables back on those guys and killing them all. Yeah, I don't know what this is. What is this? Something with a gun and somebody doing a tongue thing. I don't know. So it looks crazy. I think it's a little bit nuts, like, you know, over the top. But you know, it's not very realistic, so that's fine. I think for a movie like this, it kind of works. I don't think it's a funny movie. I don't think it's particularly fun, but I think it's an interesting hard take. Because it's like kind of grim and gritty, but over the top. But it's not solely focused on gore. It's really focused more on the revenge aspect, which I think is interesting to explore, right? It's kind of a different thing. I've had friends with similar ideas for movies. You know, revenge is sort of a interesting thing, and like the guy's a pastor, so that adds another element to it. Like, he's defying his God by doing this, right? So that gives it another layer. So this ain't bad. I like the whole setup to this. Yeah, I'd go see it. The Retaliators, starting in September 14th. September 14th. So look for it. I think I will. I think I might see it. September is kind of fall time. I'm looking for an inside movie. This feels like a very inside movie, not a summary movie, which is more of an outside movie. Not that I wouldn't see movies in the theater. What am I saying? Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more based takes. We got a Hollywoke hot take and a news blast. We'll see you in the next one.